of the servers have been migrated on the Red Hat platform. Cloud, we are looking for the DR perspective. We are evaluating onto the cloud platforms to move down to the DR infrastructure into the complete cloud, which is on the roadmap.
A company like yours being able to address security concerns, and I think that's what has been holding Indian companies back for a long time.
You know, so the core, there's at multiple levels is sort of the answer to that. So at the core, Linux is just very highly secure. And the work we're doing around extending Linux with the work we're doing around virtualization built on this KVM kernel is by its function, by its design, very highly secure, very highly scalable into cloud-type environments. So there's multiple levels of security that we're addressing either directly through Red Hat, in some cases through partnerships that are out there. But you're right, the essence of making sure that very private applications can go to the cloud, you need to address the security issue at different.
What innovation have you found that really stuck out as, extraordinary?
On the mobility side, there's actually, I want to go back to what Arun said, because the mobility is really showing the data, is presenting the data. I think the actual developments are happening in the cloud. And cloud computing is really what drives all this. And even on the security side, right? If you would in the old days would lose your laptop or your phone with all the data on it, you would be in big trouble because somebody would find it. Now, if it's on the cloud, it's no longer as vulnerable as it is when it's in your pocket.
Right.
So I think that's one important thing to note when you talk about mobility and security. Taking that forward, you see many developments around cloud computing where data is portable, accessible from all ends. In our own company, we're a good example of it because we use our entire sales force uses the ability to go mobile to the sales data and to share all the information about customers, to share updates about what they're doing in the customers. So I think that's pervasive around the world. I don't see anything spiking out in this region where I say, well, this is really something special. But that's maybe because I've become so accustomed to all the new technology myself.
Arun, as far as opportunity loss is concerned, for people who don't see the advantages of being able to go through with this at this point in time, because obviously when you're looking at technology, we're looking at that fast pace of change, but you're also looking way into the future, and we need foresight to be able to see what's coming and how we're going to be able to deal with it with the kind of requirements that an organization would have. What is the opportunity loss if we don't buy into this right now?
Well, I think companies that innovate will thrive. Companies that stagnate will not, right? So if you think about innovation from a business perspective, today, innovation in business is very closely tied to the innovation from a technology perspective, like Ravi was saying, right? If you're not able to back up your business ideas with very sound technology delivery and time to market, you're going to struggle. And if you look at most markets, getting extremely competitive, whether it's the financial industry, whether it's the telecom service providers, automotive, margins are wafer thin. Now, how do you, in such an environment, are able to step ahead of competition? So I say this, that the velocity of innovation in open source cannot be matched because you're talking about 1 million people, in some cases, who are building code compared to a company that best, and some of the biggest software companies have a few 10,000 people doing R&D. Now, you can't match a few 10,000 people against 1 million eyes. Right? And that's where I think that innovation cycle and that velocity of innovation will drive the business to be ahead of the curve. And so I think people who don't look at it, that's the opportunity loss that they're facing in the future.
The CIO Power Conclave in Goa, an opportunity for top-notch IT decision makers to network, ideate, and find solutions to some of the most common challenges facing enterprises today, has given us interesting insights into the use and adoption of open source software. Jackie Yearney took the CIOs on a virtual tour talking about future plans at Red Hat.
And I am, the truth is, businesses don't sell to businesses, people sell to people, right? So I want to spend a lot of time really trying to understand who you all are, not only how do you think about your day-to-day job and what you're aiming to do, but how you think about your daily lives and how can we best interact and engage with you. So let me tell you a few of the things that we hear from people like Dave. So we call them mainstream innovators because you do, I think you do, you can tell me, you want to be at the forefront, but not too much at the forefront, not beta testing, right? You want proof. You want proof that these new things are going to work. You don't want to be the first user, the second user, maybe even the 10th, right? You want to not be left behind, but feel that it's secure and reliable. Brands seem to be very important to mainstream innovators, and they want to engage with tier 1 vendors. And it's not just brands like working with a Red Hat or a Microsoft, but also any brands that you all interact with. I think you have ones that you trust.
Earlier, the CIOs kicked off the Red Hat Power Conclave with some power play at the luxuriant greens of the hotel.
Earlier, and after a hard day of work, having a way like this to unwind is really nice. So I might do this more often.
It's fantastic, very good experience. I'm meeting a lot of people from various industry verticals. Normally we restrict to our telecom vertical, but here it's a good opportunity to know other people, and obviously it's a very good forum where Red Hat has provided to at least interact with various people from the industry of IT fraternity. And it's a great experience because I've never played golf on a professional level. So learning that experience is definitely good, and within short time you feel like pro, that you can play it. So.
Basically, if you look at normal conferences, if you sit in the same room for a long time, then tend to, you're just stuck to that, your mind is not fresh, you're not able to concentrate. So here is that, you're able to mix it, your mind is fresh next day for next day. So it's very good approach.
Company for a long time, and one of the things that makes Red Hat unique is the fact that as an organization we believe in collaboration. Everything that we do is done in a very collaborative fashion. And when we were sitting and having a look at what kind of agenda and what kind of topics we wanted to put on the table, the clear guiding principle was we wanted to collaborate. We wanted to do this together. I've been at a lot of conferences where you sit and go through 3 days of presentation to death. I know as somebody who's attended an event like this, the last thing I want to do is just sit and have people do slides after slides. So when we did this, we said, we're going to make this collaborative. We're going to make this interesting for you, interesting for us. And I want to say a very sincere thank you to all of you. I think your collaboration, your engagement really made a huge difference in making these 2 days exciting for us. We've learned a lot. I know Jackie's got a lot of notes. Hopefully, all of this will translate back into input into what we do globally. We've taken a lot of notes from the workshop sessions. I saw a lot of engagement. So we'll take a lot of this back. We'll absolutely ensure that we've got your feedback. This is the first time that Red Hat has done this CIO Power Conclave. The engagement that we've received from you gives me a lot of confidence to tell you that we absolutely love to do this again. Have you come back, and hopefully when you do come back next year, we'll have some demonstrable proof points to show you that we listen to you, that we've taken your feedback and we've done something with you.